Hello everyone, my name is Christian and today I'm going to be doing two movie reviews. I feel like Music Monday was a failure, so I'm going to be quickly pivoting back to what I love doing, which is talking about movies. And two movies that I have today are two very definitely trippy movies. They're definitely dealing with themes of disorientation. There's a lot of themes of loss of identity and kind of absorbing other identities and sort of being unable to differentiate between these things. But the first movie I want to talk about is a 2014 movie by Takashi Miike, one of my favorite Japanese directors, and it's the movie Over Your Dead Body. I just saw this for the first time a few weeks ago, and I haven't stopped thinking about it. I loved it. You can definitely see there's some of the Takashi Miike blood. I kept forgetting this was a Takashi Miike movie while I was watching it because it was so high budget and very well done in terms of cinematography. Takashi Miike is a director who I'm used to doing or seeing sort of like camera on the ground, boots running, like, you know, definitely the George Romero type of filmmaking, where it's very like the movie's made afterwards in the editing. And this movie definitely seemed a lot more deliberate, which I loved. I loved the script of it. I loved the story, which is basically about two kabuki actors who are acting with each other, and both of them start to lose themselves within the role, and jealousy brews up. There's a lot of scenes, very intense scenes, where you're not really sure if this is part of the kabuki play or if it's really more of the interpersonal relationship between the two actors. And I loved all that. It was definitely not a movie I'll rewatch over and over and over again, like, you know, Happiness of the Katakiris or Audition or Ichi the Killer, like any of those Miike movies. Like, I love them. They're really fun to watch compared to this one. But I think this is probably his best movie that I've seen in a very long time, because I'm so used to having the Takashi Miike glasses, I call it, because when watching a Takashi Miike, I feel like I lower my expectations, because Takashi Miike always does his endings awesomely. And I feel like this movie continues that trend. And the nice thing about this movie is that it was awesome from beginning to end. And I couldn't stop, like, just thinking all the scenes and seeing how the characters were changing and trying to keep track of, like, oh, the character's now in kabuki mode or in his, personal actor mode. And you get the fun Takashi Miike absurdity too. This is something that I love about Miike. You have definitely the body horror. You see the woman pulling her eye out, and just the ending was just so weird. I loved all the little moments between the two actors and then the one other actress who was just kind of there to say lines during the rehearsals. And then she starts to realize, like, this is more real than I thought it was. And these actors are fucking crazy. And I love that. I love this movie. It came out in 2014, so I think this is the most recent Takashi Miike movie I've seen, but I loved it. This was released by 88 Films, so if you have a region free player, you should definitely get this. Now, the other movie I watched was just the other night, 2 nights ago, Friday night. And this is Ken Russell's 1980 movie, Altered States. This was just such a joy to watch. This was my first, I think, Ken Russell movie, and I loved it. I really loved how the story is basically a researcher, like, trying to find truth within drugs. But they have this, like, super powerful drug. And one of the researchers at the college, he talks to the main character and he's like, hey man, this would be amazing for your research, like what you've been talking about, and I would love to show you it. And while this is happening, our main character is falling in love with another, I think she's a researcher, but she's kind of the one who provides his emotional stability throughout the movie. And I really love the romance between them two, although the guy is really fucking weird. And it's really scary. And I really Like, this movie was definitely triggering while I was watching it, but the visuals, I loved the visuals. I loved the very sort of timey-wimey, like, blurriness. Like, you never knew, like, when we were in the timeline, because sometimes we would jump years ahead, like, after he has a really bad trip. And I love the cover of this. This is a great a great summation of the movie. But I really loved how the visuals just really played into this movie, and I loved watching all of the visions. I loved watching the very intense acting that was going on, because we have William Hurt, who is a really good actor. I think I've seen him in 1 or 2 other movies. But I really love the directions that the movie took, because it wasn't just about drugs the entire time. At one point, this movie turns into a creature feature, and I was not expecting that. I loved it. That was probably my favorite part, and the ending was just phenomenal. I loved it, and I know this is based on a book, and I looked up the book, and I looked at the ratings, and it doesn't seem that well received, so I don't think I'll ever watch the book or read the book. But I really love this movie, as triggering as it was to watch. But I am so excited to one day dive into the special features. I was just really just blown away by this movie. I kept thinking it was from the 70s, but this was just amazing. And that's really all I have to talk about in terms of movies. But let me know what you think about my reviews for these, and whether I should do more, because I would like to do more, but I don't want to put in work and effort if no one's going to watch it. So thank you all so much for watching, and please have a great rest of the day.